Hare Krishna. Tap the mind's power. Don't be trapped by the mind's power. When we go through the course of our life, we all know that there are many things which are powerful, whose power can help us or whose power can hurt us. For example, there is electric power. Now, with electricity, we can make a cold room hot, warm, we can make a hot room cool, we can do so many things. It is such a great power. But if we are careless in handling it, if we touch a live wire, then it gives us a shock that can cause us pain, it can even cause death. So, electric power needs to be tapped. We have to be very careful that we don't get trapped by electric power. If we get stuck to an electric wire, the current keeps flowing through our body. It's extremely dangerous. So, just as there is electric power which can be either tapped or which can trap us. Some people get stuck to electric pole and then just get trapped, we can't be pulled out, and then they get electrocuted. So, like that, we also have our mind and its mental power. Our mental power is meant to be tapped. The mind is extremely powerful, and when the mind is focused, we can do amazing things. Now, what we can't do is what we can do is amazing. Many things which we normally think which we will not be able to do, we can do if we learn to focus on the mind. That means if we just learn that, okay, this is the mind and this is how I have to use the energy. So, sometimes when the mind is focused, we can study something and we can just understand it in 5 minutes. And sometimes when the mind is disfocused, we study for 5 hours, we can't understand it. So, the mind's power is enormous actually. And we need the mind, because the mind is the medium by which our consciousness goes out to the world, focuses on the world and connects with the world and enables us to do things in the world. So, we learn and we do. Both these things are done through the channel of the mind. And for this, what we need is a focus, is the capacity to recognize that this mind's power is extremely powerful, it has to be tapped. However, if we are not careful, we may get trapped. That means the mind may, instead of mind doing the things which we want to do, the mind may make us do the things which it wants to do. The mind has its own programming, and as per the default programming, it may just prompt us to do certain things. So, for example, a student goes to college, and the student is going to college to study, and the student studies in the college, and if it's a good college study, the student studies well, there's a bright career ahead. But the student falls in bad association, the mind says, come on, why don't you drink once? And once, twice, thrice, and that student becomes an alcohol addict, and the career gets ruined by that. So, here what has happened, instead of tapping the power of the mind to learn, they became trapped by the power of the mind in alcoholism, in addiction. So, Krishna, he tells us in the Bhagavad Gita in 6.5, Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hi atmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. He says this mind is the friend of the self, and the mind can also be the enemy of the self. We need to elevate ourselves with the mind, not degrade ourselves. So, this means we have to tap the power of the mind, not be trapped. So, of course, at one level we need vigilance. Just as there has to be some alertness while dealing with electricity, we have to be alert to understand where is my mind going right now, and to bring the mind back to where we want it to be. And critical for tapping the power of the mind is to actually live in the guidance of someone who is greater than the mind. The supreme reality greater than the mind is Krishna. When we focus on him, then when we try to serve him by practicing bhakti yoga, then that superior power, the supreme power of Krishna, just calms the mind. So whatever little control we have over the mind, we use that little control, we tap that much control to connect with Krishna. And by that connection, by Krishna's power, we will get more power on the mind, we will get a greater control, and thus we will be able to use our mind constructively and won't be used by our mind destructively. Thank you. Hare Krishna.